Have you ever opened an investing app, stared at hundreds of stocks and funds, and just closed it? Yeah, you're not alone. Building your first investment portfolio feels overwhelming. But here's the truth. You don't need to be a Wall Street expert to start investing wisely. You just need a simple, repeatable process. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to build your first investment portfolio, step by step. No jargon, no guesswork. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where to start. Let's get into it. Before you invest a single dollar, euro, or rupee, you need to answer one question. What am I investing for? Retirement in 30 years? A house in 5 years? Financial freedom in general? Your goal decides your time horizon, and your time horizon decides almost everything else about your portfolio. Short-term goals, 0 to 3 years. You want safety. Think savings accounts or low-risk instruments. Medium-term goals, 3 to 10 years. A mix of moderate risk and stability. Long-term goals, 10+ years. You can afford to take more risk because time smooths out market ups and downs. Write your goal down, seriously. This one step will guide every decision after this. Next, how much risk can you actually handle? Not just financially, but emotionally. Ask yourself, if your portfolio dropped 20% in a month, would you panic and sell? Or would you stay calm, knowing markets recover over time? There's no wrong answer. But knowing this about yourself prevents a huge beginner mistake. Panic selling during downturns, which locks in losses instead of riding them out. A simple rule of thumb, the longer your timeline and the calmer your temperament, the more risk, like stocks, you can include. The shorter your timeline, or the more anxious market swings make you, the more stability, like bonds or cash, you'll want. Before investing, make sure you have a safety net. Typically 3 to 6 months of essential expenses sitting in an easily accessible savings account. Why? Because if an emergency hits and your money is tied up in investments, you might be forced to sell at a bad time, possibly at a loss. Think of your emergency fund as the foundation of a house. Everything else, your investments, gets built on top of it. Now, the fun part, actually building the portfolio. Most beginner portfolios are made of a mix of these core asset classes. 1. Stocks, equities, ownership in companies, higher growth potential, higher short-term volatility, best for long-term goals. 2. Bonds, fixed income, essentially loans to governments or companies that pay you interest. Lower risk, lower returns, they help stabilize your portfolio. 3. Index funds and ETFs. For most beginners, this is the easiest entry point. Instead of picking individual stocks, an index fund or ETF holds a broad basket of companies, instantly diversifying your money. One purchase, hundreds of companies. 4. Cash or cash equivalents. Money market funds or high-yield savings for stability and liquidity. A simple beginner allocation could look like this. Long time horizon, higher risk tolerance, 80% stocks / 20% bonds. Medium time horizon, moderate risk tolerance, 60% stocks / 40% bonds. Short time horizon, lower risk tolerance, 30% stocks / 70% bonds. These are starting points, not rules carved in stone. Adjust based on your personal situation. Diversification means spreading your money across different assets, industries, and regions so that no single investment can sink your entire portfolio. A globally diversified beginner portfolio might include a broad domestic stock market index fund, an international stock market index fund, a bond index fund. This way, if one country's market or one sector struggles, your entire portfolio isn't wiped out. It's one of the simplest ways to reduce risk without reducing your long-term growth potential. You don't need a huge sum to start. Many platforms today let you begin with very small amounts. The real secret weapon isn't a large starting sum, it's consistency. This is called dollar cost averaging, investing a fixed amount regularly, weekly or monthly, regardless of whether the market is up or down. Over time, this smooths out the effect of market swings and builds the habit of investing, which matters more than timing the market perfectly. Once your portfolio is built, check in periodically. every few months or once a year, not every day. Rebalancing means occasionally adjusting your holdings back to your original target allocation, since some assets grow faster than others over time. Constantly checking prices daily often leads to emotional decisions. Set it, review it occasionally, and let time do the work. So let's recap the roadmap. 1. Define your goal and timeline. 2. Know your risk tolerance. 3. Build your emergency fund. 4. Choose your core assets: stocks, bonds, index funds. 5. Diversify globally. 6. Invest consistently. 7. Review periodically, don't obsess. Investing isn't about being perfect from day one. It's about starting, staying consistent, and letting time work in your favor. If this helped you, hit like, subscribe for more beginner-friendly finance content, and drop a comment telling me what your first investment goal is. See you in the next video.